Sawadee-krap, my friends. Hello. Здравствуйте. The game. When I went home, I had the voice of death. Come to the kitchen, we will have dinner. I cooked spaghetti and invited the new sauce. Invented. However, I am doing it every time because I see no point repeating the same recipe. At that moment I left a strong sense of hunger and with a smile rushed into the kitchen and sat down at the table. You know what I like spaghetti, or it's just a coincidence? It is not a coincidence, and I didn't know anything. In fact, spaghetti is one of my favorite foods. After spaghetti, Dev flavored a tea and we went out to the terrace. The rain had already ended and the sun was shining in the sky. Strangely, I cannot understand how I was able to answer the difficult questions. Actually, it wasn't to you. It was the universe itself. So I told you that to never think about the question and say the first thing that comes to your mind. The very first thought, it is the right answer to every question arises. Therefore, it is best to follow and be guided by the most first past thoughts in any situation. Even if these ideas seem strange and illogical, but in the end everything will be better than if you had thought about all the stuff for a long time, built a logical chain, looked for answer in some books or whatever. Then Des took a tobacco pouch pipe and lit a cigar, blowing out colorful smoke rings which rose very high in the sky and only then dispersed. I want to tell you, Eric, about the universe game, about the game you play with the universe. As you have probably realized, there are many descriptions of this world. Various creatures essentially use this or other descriptions. However, that is all a matter of taste. I'll tell you a description that I like. However, back in the human's world, you must have heard about this description. It is a game. The difference is that people only talk about it, but do not use. Like they say, read and then forgotten, or in at one and out of at the other. So our whole existence in one form or another, it can be seen as a game where there are two players, not the opponents, but partner or even friends. So do you, or rather your essence, you are the same mind as I and like any other creature in its form? Yes, you got the idea. And it was your first thought, which as you know has been already forgotten. That shook her finger at me. This is the right one. We continue the game of two friends. But my friends are different, I interrupted. Oh, aren't they? It's a game. How do you imagine the order so he is? Everything is in your hands. Everything is in your mind. You must have already remembered it. I think we no longer going back so such topics. Strictly said Death. Got it. Timidly, I replied and drank my cup of tea in one gulp. A kind smile appeared on Death's face as it poured me more tea, quickly moving the kitchen and back. "So," said Death, still smiling brightly. "Well, except that you are creating your own friend. You set the rules of the game yourself. Remember, your life, your universe, your game, it's your rules. Don't create system in the game. You don't need it. Let it be unsystematic. That is much more interesting and funny. Although it is your own business. You can play making moves in a turn. You can share turns, but you can vary. In general, do and create what you want. Universe is an haphazard and chaos. At least that's the part of the rules of my game. If you are making moves in a turn, then there are no restrictions. You can skip the moves, but you can make them in a row as you wish. I think it's enough talking for today. You just have to understand that everything happens around you. This is just the game of yours. And all of your rules, this is nothing but your thoughts. Hold the entire universe, all the energy in your hands. Manage everything around you myself. And do not obey the rules that you have not invented. But of course try to avoid bringing into the point of absolutely, as for example, bending the law of gravitation. However, this is also possible. Okay, quit talking. You already know a lot. Here is the result of all. Death made a cycle with its hand. It's what you have right now around you. After a short pause, Death drank the last sip of tea, released the last few smoke rings, pulled a piece of paper out of the pocket and put it on the table, saying with a kind smile, "This is your haphazard and chaotic occupation schedule. Hurry. But don't forget, we'll go to other worlds in the evening. I should vanish. I have got some stuff to do." It winked to me, turned into smoke, and disappeared in a cup where was the tea it drank second before. I turned the page and read, "We invite you to the theater to answer questions and give advices. We will be glad to see and hear you any day between lunch and dinner." I did not consider my plans for today for a long time. Cheered and smiling, I went out my house, sat in the flying vehicle, and headed to the theater. Кап-кап. Thank you. Спасибо.